Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shamimi Azhari and I presented for Group 5. So first of all, I will introduce to you my members, which is Ila Nadira, Nur Sabrina, and also Nur Hidayatul Soleha. And my part, I'm going to explain briefly about the whole process of urinary system and a bit function about nephron. I'm going to do a handwriting tutorial. Okay, for the whole process about the urinary system, it begins with kidney. Kidney will produce actually a urine and urea, and then it will pass it into the ureter. Okay, what is actually ureter does is actually transport the urine to the urinary bladder. Okay, for what urinary bladder function of? It is function to hold the urine, and then finally it will transport the urine to the urethra, and the urethra will excrete the urine. Okay, next let us watching about the nephron function. I did it with handwriting tutorial, and then Hidayah will explain more after this. So let's enjoy. Okay, first of all, we're gonna know that blood will enter the glomerulus through the efferent arteriole, and it's here, and it will exit via efferent arteriole here, as shown in the video. F for filtrations, S for secretions, R for reabsorptions, E for excretion, which is the way to the bladder, end of urinary system. Okay guys, let's begin with filtrations. In general, in these filtrations, it do not contain any large protein and red blood cell. It only contains of water, sodium chloride, potassium, bicarbonate, glucose, amino acid, creatinine, and urea. Creatinine and urea are waste products. Now, we're going to move to the proximal convoluted tubule. Here we get reabsorptions of potassium, sodium chloride, water, amino acid, glucose, and bicarbonate. As you guys know, amino acids and glucose are very, very important. Okay. Secretions in proximal tubule are uric acid and organic acid, which include many antibiotics. This is the way they are removed from the body. Now, loop of Henle is all the concentrations of urine. It reabsorption water in descending limb, which is highly water permeable, and reabsorbing 25% of filtered sodium chloride in the ascending. In the circumvoluted tubule, we reabsorb about 5% of filtered sodium chloride and some water. In this tubule, some potassiums and some hydrogen ions are secreted. This means move back into the nephron. Simple way to this nephron is proximal tubule does most of the reabsorptions and secretions. For the loop of Henle does the concentration, and this tubule does the times turning. Now, let's move to the collecting duct. A bit of reabsorptions occur, which is some 5% of filtered sodium chloride, some water are reabsorbed, and then some urea. And finally, guys, excretion. The components of it is water, sodium chloride, potassium, bicarbonate, creatinine, and urea, which is this will be ways out from our body. That's all.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hidayatul Solha binti Ismail and my metric number is 178385. Okay, for my part, I will explain to you about the three processes that occurs during urine formation. As we know, the primary function of the renal system is to regulate blood volume and plasma osmolality, right? Besides that, the renal system also will remove waste from our body through urine. Urine formation involves three processes which are filtration, reabsorption and secretion. Okay, as you can see from here, this is the structure of this is the component of structure that involved in three processes. Okay, this is the glomerulus, Bowman capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, this is the convoluted tubule, and the collecting duct. All these structures are located in the medulla of the kidney. Okay, the first process is filtration. Okay, during filtration, blood enters the afferent arteriole and flow into the glomerulus, where filterable blood components such as water and nitrogenous waste will move towards inside the glomerulus. Glomerulus will permeable to small molecules such as iron and water and will block large molecules such as blood cell and protein. Okay, blood cell and protein will exist via the afferent arteriole. This filterable component accumulate in the glomerulus to form glomerular filtrate. Okay, the next step is the reabsorption. Reabsorption usually occur in the loop of Henle. Okay, then during reabsorption, molecules and ion will be reabsorbed into the circulatory system. The fluid passes the component of nephron, which are the loop of Henle, and the fluid removed as the fluid osmolality change. Okay, reabsorption is to maintain the homeostasis in our body. Okay, in the reabsorption also, the structure of loop provide different in concentration gradient. The salt will diffuse out from ascending limb of the loop of Henle and make the medulla salty and the water is reabsorbed from the descending limb due to different in concentration gradient. As I said just now, the reabsorption process occur is to maintain homeostasis in our body, right? So there will be process reabsorption back. Okay, the next step is the secretion. During secretion, some substance such as hydrogen ion, creatinine and drug will be removed from the blood through the peritubular capillary that network into the collecting duct. So, and the end product is our urine lah. So urine is essentially a collection of substance that wants to remove by our body. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I will explain to you the learning outcome number 3 is the production of concentrated and diluted urine. Okay, we proceed to the first one. Okay, we proceed to next. The kidney will maintain the water homeostasis by adjusting the volume of urine. If we have a high water intake it will increase the volume of urine up to 20 and 50 mol. While for low water intake on high water loss, it will lower the urine volume. Okay, for the production of concentrated urine, the ADH will be increases of the permeability of the distal tubule and collecting ducts to water, and then it will activate the mobile aquaporin. Thus, it will increase the rate of reabsorption of water. Highly osmolar renal modulatory stadium provide osmotic gradient for water reabsorption in presence of ADH. Because of this, it will produce concentrated urine. While as for diluted, the formation of dilute urine depends on decrease of secretion of ADH from pituitary. The kidney will continue to absorb solute while fail to absorb the water. Because of low of ADH, it will deactivate the mobile aquaporin. Thus, it will decrease the rate of reabsorption of water Because of that, it will produce a diluted urine. So basically this one for production of diluted and concentrated urine. Okay, hi everyone. Now we're going to talk about the net filtration pressure that occurs in the nephrons. So, net filtration pressure in the Bowman's capsule is the pressure that occurs when the blood flows from the afferent arteriole to the efferent arteriole through the glomerulus. Okay, the forces that are involved in this process are called styling forces. The first one is hydrostatic pressure. Hydrostatic pressure is a pressure that forces out or filters out substances from capillaries or the blood vessels. So hydrostatic pressure here can occur both ways. The hydrostatic pressure that occurs in the Bowman's capsule is called capsular hydrostatic pressure. So the water is moved out from the Bowman's capsule. Or there is a glomerular hydrostatic pressure or blood hydrostatic pressure, where the water move out of the blood capillaries into the Bowman's capsule as the blood flows from the afferent arteriole to the efferent arteriole. Here we can say that the higher the blood pressure, the higher the hydrostatic pressure, and more glomerular filtrate is filtered out to the Bowman's capsule. It's like a balloon. If the balloon have a small hole and we blow air into it, so more air go into the balloon and more air is released out from the small hole. That is the analogy here. Okay, the next force involved is the oncotic pressure. Oncotic pressure or colloid osmotic pressure is exerted by the proteins in the blood plasma to pull back water that is outside into the circulatory system. So that is oncotic pressure. Okay, now we can see that when the blood flows from the afferent arteriole to the efferent arteriole, there are three forces involved. These three forces determine the net filtration pressure. There are two types of forces: the forces that oppose filtration and promote filtration. The one that promote is the hydrostatic pressure of the blood. So when the blood flows, the filtrate is moved out of the glomerulus. But the hydrostatic pressure of the Bowman's capsule and the oncotic pressure draw back in the substance back into the blood capillaries. So these pressures are opposed the filtration process: oncotic pressure and capsular hydrostatic pressure, which is the hydrostatic pressure of the Bowman's capsule itself. So in order to calculate the net filtration pressure, we will use this formula, which is the pressures that promote filtration minus the pressures that oppose filtration. So here the blood hydrostatic pressure minus the oncotic pressure minus the capsular hydrostatic pressure, and we will get the final net filtration pressure. So that is the process that occurs for the net filtration pressure in the Bowman's capsule. So thank you.